Greetings, Shelpers. Thank you for joining me tonight for more Vampire Crawlers. It is Friday. I hope you have something nice and fun planned for the weekend. As far as husband and I, we are going to have an in-home date, get all nice and cozy, watch some Cow and Chicken, blah, 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 blah. I think there are pork chops you might have to put out of the fridge for a while. And then baked potatoes for tomorrow. I love baked potatoes. We are in a potato area. And I'm gonna buy this. I have been grinding off stream, but none of the places we have not been together. So you don't have to worry about me cheating. I'm gonna see if I can get another crawler though. There's a particular crawler I won with on my... in my life. I forget who the fuck it was. Maybe I don't have her unlocked yet to get. Oh, it's Grandpa Sweaty Balls. I like Grandpa Sweaty Balls. Yeah, Pugnala I'm using, the OP one. I don't think I have her yet, actually. I think she's down here later. But I have the ability to have 3 crawlers now instead of 1. And I have a bunch of other stuff. I didn't want to have you all sit through a billion tries. That's what the last level is for. I barely won that by the skin of my dick when I played, so it's not gonna be easy. But yeah, we got through the library entirely, and now we are at the dairy or whatever. If any of you have played the other, you know, the original Vampire Survivors, you will know what this level is. Very nice, Pugnala. Thank you, dear. Very OP. Much wow. And the Vampire Survivors characters were supposed to be in Fortnite, but the Fortnite people were like, soon after, were like, wait, you know, generative AI, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, come on now. Come on now. You didn't know? You didn't know that Fortnite uses Gen AI? Who doesn't know that by now? I had already stopped playing because of them putting Harry Potter characters in and stuff, and I don't fuck with Joke Rowling. I'm not going to bother with her at all. I don't really want any of these, but I'm gonna take the luck slot, slap it on here, that'll be fine. But yeah, since I don't fuck with that, I wasn't already like sad that they were using Gen AI. I'd already quit them before because I'm like, oh, you don't care who they hurt. Okay, that sounds great for you. Let's just not. And you know, if I put that -1 on a 0, I will get 1 of the mana back. So I could do that. I could get a refund mana, but then they wouldn't be able to build. Okay, You know, let me just do this so it becomes free. So 2 mana for free. That's nice. I'll have to try to remember not to give that one up. But I understand about problematic creators, because some people are like, I don't want to give up Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter enough to not get rid of it if, you know, people are fucking with it. But I understand the difficulty sometimes. I used to really like Neil Gaiman before finding out about his predatory ways. And I don't read his stuff anymore. And that kind of sucks because I liked his stuff, but I like, you know, supporting people that are not shitbags more. So that's the long and the short of it, I guess. Although I have to look through my Spotify list because I finally, this is before, in the before time, but I actually found a song I liked by a problematic creator, and I didn't know that they were a problematic creator until like recently, and I just haven't taken their song out of my playlist, and I'm like, I have to do that. For those of you keeping score at home, I never liked him as a creator, but James Charles had a song that I kind of relate to. Thank you, my dear. But yeah, James Charles had a song I kind of relate to, and I was like, okay, like I finally liked something he put out. But I'm I can't. I just can't. Because of all the accusations and everything against him, that I can't ignore it. Like, there's no way. And I struggle really hard back and forth with like Michael Jackson, because some people say he did, some people say he didn't do anything, and he probably did. They just don't want to give up his music and his legacy. I don't know. I haven't heard the claims and stuff, but again, we're a believe all victims, you know, kind of family here. So I think I only have one MJ song on my Spotify playlist, and it's for Halloween. And it's Thriller, obviously, because Thriller is a Halloween classic, but I'm gonna be giving that up too. But like I said, some people say he didn't do it, but I wasn't there, so you gotta believe the victims unless you find out something otherwise. So it's hard to be like, well, damn, I really like that person or whatever. But see, the thing is, there is so much music out there, Shelpers. There are so many games, movies, everything, that you can support like a bunch of different people without supporting like predators and whatnot. You know? Even if it sucks that you might lose a song you loved or something you grew up with. Okay, -1 or the luck. I guess I'll eat the luck one. I may be wrong about that one, but sometimes you find them again. But yeah, I was hoping to make this easier so that we wouldn't have to keep going back over and over, but there might be like 5 streams just for the end of this. I want to stream next week twice, but I might only stream once. I have something to do on Wednesday and something to do on Friday. So technically Monday, Tuesday are the only safe days for me to really do that. And part of me thinks that I shouldn't be streaming that close together, because I'm always like, well, what the fuck am I gonna talk about all that while? I always worry about running out of steam, even though everybody knows me, I could blabber on about everything at any time. But still, we've also been having a bit of a rough go here for different reasons as of late, so I went to do my blood appointment on Tuesday, and I had to use the van company that I don't normally like. And the first time I used it, the person told me that my husband was not cleared to ride with me to my appointment, and he was, and it was even in the app that he was, but she told me he wasn't, and he almost didn't go with me. So that sucked ass. And then this last time I was without him because I just had to go to my routine monthly blood work. So it's like, okay, whatever, right? Well, the first guy who took me was like really, really nice, but he was new and didn't really strap me in well, let's say. And he took a turn so sharply that I kind of like hit the sea next to me. And I actually hurt so bad, I thought I was gonna bruise. I don't think I did, but I don't know. But yeah, my stomach was like really banged up because of that, so that sucked. And then on the way back, I had another driver, and that is a whole different story. That other driver, let's say, it was wild. Let me just say, he felt like a former cop. Just the way he did or didn't want to, like, talk to me and whatnot. So, I'm a friendly person, but I try to match vibes. So if, like, people really don't want to talk, they just don't want to talk. So, he turned on the radio, and I'm like, okay, that's it. He doesn't really want to talk to me. But then he was like, oh, there's a deer on the side of the road, and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. When I got in his vehicle, I was like, he doesn't feel friendly to me. But I'm like, you know what? People often will assume things about me because of what I look like or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to do that to someone else. So when he started talking to me, I'm like, okay. So here, I'm like, he's friendly enough, and then I heard a clunk, and he's like, what is that clunk? And I thought it was like the securement, like the hook in the front on the arm of my chair, like settling, because it has like this uneven little groove, and I think when he hooked it onto my chair arm, he hooked it onto that little groove, so I think it was just trying to even out. Well, I'm like, well, I think it's the arm of my chair, like the hook on the arm of the chair, and he's like, well, then you're not secure because it moved. I'm like, no, and I tried the securement. I'm like, it's okay, it didn't move, it's still on there, I can't pull it off. And he's like, no, it's not supposed to make any noise at all. I'm like, yes, I know that, but I'm not moving, it's okay. I thought he was concerned for me. Turns out he's not. He's like, and if you're not secure, we can't haul you, and somebody's gonna have to tell the company that we get the transportation from that you need a different wheelchair, or you need your wheelchair repaired so that you can have different hooks put on it. And I'm like, hey, everything's fine. I'm like, I swear I'm okay. And he's like, you know, somebody's gonna do that. And I'm thinking to myself, he's threatening me with this when he doesn't even know me. What if I don't have the ability to get new hooks put on my chair or a new wheelchair? Some people don't have insurance. And if you do have insurance, sometimes it takes months and months to get an appointment to have your chair fixed. So he's basically threatening me that I could potentially be stuck at home for, let's say, 5 months until we get the hooks because he deems that I'm not safe. So I kept trying him, and I'm like, it's okay. And he goes, ma'am, I know what I heard. And I'm like, well, can you check him when we get me out of here? And he's like, sure. And then he's like, you know, I'm not gonna report you. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I only have 2 weeks left at the company, I put in my notice. And I'm like, he's like, I got a different job. And I'm like, oh, what job is it? Because again, I'm stupid thinking that he's opening up and giving me information. He's like, I don't feel comfortable giving you those personal details, ma'am. And I'm thinking, well, then why the fuck did you tell me you were getting a different job? And I was like, okay, just quiet. All I said was okay. And every once in a while he would make a snarky comment about my wheelchair and stuff, even though it didn't make another noise. I didn't move an inch. When we got close to where I live, he couldn't find the building, and he's like, oh, there's this, this is not the building. I'm like, no, it's the building up ahead. And I said, but you can drop me off here if you want. And he's like, ma'am, I can't complete the trip if we don't go right to your door. They won't let me complete the trip. I'm like, okay, well, it's just right up there. And he goes, don't tell me how to do my job, ma'am. And a lot of people, I'm not going to describe this to you, but there's like multiple buildings in this area that are all like part of a thing. What? Yes, you heard banging. I don't know if it's, we hear banging at night. I don't know if people are getting started on the fireworks or what, but yeah. But yeah, he's like, when he was like, don't tell me how to do my job, man, I'm like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to help you, because I know how difficult it is to like find the place. And I was like, it's up here in this one building. And he's like, this building? Okay, what is this? Instantly vaporizes all enemies on the first floor. Oh, the nuclear button, yes. Very good. But anyway, he didn't believe me about where I lived at first, because where I live does not necessarily look like the most typical place to live. And I think he thought I was trying to get him to drop me off somewhere that I didn't actually live. And I'm like, no, I live here. And it was almost like he didn't fucking believe me. I'm like, okay, but I do. And then I had to explain to him in detail, like, why my building looks like it does. And then when he got me out of the van, I'm just like, my wheelchair is okay, right? Like, I was still hooked. And he goes, you're not secure enough. And I'm just like, okay. I cried half the way home. He was such an asshole. Such an utter asshole. He really did smell like a former cop. Let me just say that. or a cop wannabe or somebody who washed out of the academy or something. Just the way he behaved and the way he treated me, it was just, it was, let's say it was wild. It was something else. And yeah, that was a lot. My blood work was good, so my new blood regimen is doing fine. I did meet some really cool people when I went to the doctor's appointment. It was an older couple and they were very sweet, and she just starts talking to people while her husband goes and has his stuff done, and it was just nice. So here I am thinking it's gonna be a good day, and then I meet the prick. By the way, they want to talk about like privacy and stuff. This guy didn't even give me his first fucking name. So he knows my first and my last name. He knows where I live. He knows what my phone number is. He knows all this stuff about me, and he doesn't even give me the courtesy of introducing himself and giving me a first name. So I guess that too is too private. Maybe he didn't do that in case people do want to report him. Maybe I'm not the only one. Because he had said at one point, ma'am, if you have a problem with me, you can report me to the management of whatever. I'm like, I'm not gonna, I just said quietly, I'm not gonna do that. I try so hard not to make trouble. So hard not to make trouble and cause problems for anybody. You know, we've had people that are literally unsafe drivers, and I've never said anything because people need their job and stuff. If I felt like it was too bad of a thing, I would. But I usually don't like to complain. I usually really don't. So it was just bad times all the way around. And then I got a call yesterday about my gardening friend, and she was sick a lot earlier this year. Well, apparently that didn't get better because she was in the hospital again with pneumonia and stuff. And then here, this one person from like a health place was telling me that she can't go home. She has to go into a care facility. And my gardening friend is not okay with that. She didn't want to leave home. She has to leave her cat. Her cat's being taken care of by someone from her church, which is nice. But my friend has adult children, and one of her adult children lives in the same house she does, right upstairs. And this one woman is like, I'm from, like, let's say, like, Caring, Loving, Embrace LLC or whatever, and we were helping out your friend, but she can't stay there because she needs more help than, you know, we can give her. And I'm thinking to myself, and her son lives right upstairs. Yes, he has a job, but he wasn't helping her out at all, but her son usually doesn't. And I'm like thinking to myself, he couldn't even take her fucking cat, so she would know that the cat is basically like living in the same place with someone she trusts. And so my friend is really freaking depressed today because today is her first day not at her house anymore. And then she said to me, you know, I'm useless. And I said, you're not useless. And she said, yes, I am. I can't do anything for myself anymore. I said, do you consider me useless? I'm in a wheelchair. I've never been able to take care of myself entirely. And she goes, you got me there. She used to be in home health care. Did she consider the people that she took care of useless? You know, I understand. I always think that it's more difficult to have an acquired disability than one you're born with in a lot of ways. And one of the reasons I say that is due to having problems figuring out how to get older. Like when all of the rest of you are trying to figure out how to navigate someone giving you a shower, I've already had that happen. When you're having problems with The fact that you can't clip your own toenails anymore, I could never clip my own toenails. Like, there are so many things that if you get old, you have to learn how to let go of or get help with. And it's not easy for people. And I guess one of the quote-unquote benefits of me being so crippled is that I can, you know, there was nothing for me to get used to. Does it suck that I need help? Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times I wish I could do my own stuff, but overall, I'm able to just be like, okay, you know, I already had to have help with this. And she's at a point now where she has to let go of that control of that person she used to be. And it's really hard. And even though I'm quote unquote used to it, I still struggle with not having my autonomy. Like when husband is like crawling in the shower with me and I'm just like, I wish I could do this myself. And he's like, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, but sometimes it bothers me. So I get that. But just because you need help doesn't mean you're not a useful, worthy human being. She wouldn't have said that about anybody she took care of back when she was an in-home healthcare person. She always gave them such dignity and grace. And, you know, when she came over to my house one time, I don't like laying in bed when other people are around. But I spend most of my day in bed because of my pain and my exhaustion. And I was in bed and she came in and I didn't know she was coming. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in bed. And she said, you're in your home. Why are you sorry? You're just relaxing. And I'm like, I know, but I don't like, you know, being there. And she goes, does it help you to be there? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, then you're where you need to be. So she didn't see it as anything bad, like me just like lounging around in bed because I honestly need to. But she'll turn around and be like, well, I feel useless. And I'm like, but it's not about that, you know. There are a lot of ways to be useful. There are a lot of ways to be worthy, and it's not always being autonomous. But then again, if you have like family members that might not always have your back when you are sick, that also affects things. Like if you have children who don't understand, siblings who don't understand your disability, etc., it becomes really hard. And when you have people around you who basically see your disability as your fault or you being lazy or whatever, it gets really hard not to ingest that poison yourself. To be like, yeah, why can't I do this thing? Why can't I be normal? Why can't I try harder? And you're doing what you can. It just sucks sometimes. So she's very depressed right now. I'm hoping she kind of gets in a better place with it. I really am. She is not in town right now, like nearby. She is like a ways away, so maybe if they eventually find her a place to be that's closer, where she can like see her church friends, attend her church again, that kind of thing, maybe she will feel better about it. Because it isn't just giving up her house, it's giving up her cat, it's giving up her friends, it's giving up a lot. So I always worried about if something ever happened to her like this, if I would even be told, because at one point she told me that she hadn't told her kids about me. And I was like, well, what happens if something happens to you? But here the person from the care program was like calling people and she's like, you know, she said you're a very dear friend and that I had to call you. So I'm like, thank goodness for that. So I already sent her a card, like a thinking of you card at the nursing home. And the nursing home gave her knitting stuff, and there's a garden there and stuff like that. The woman kind of scared me though, because at the beginning of it, she was like, when she called me yesterday, she said, oh, they have like private rooms that are small, but she'd have her own room. And I'm like, that's good. And she's like, they converted the memory ward unit. And I had to ask her today because she called after she had dropped her off and said, I said, you said memory unit. Is it still a memory unit? And she said, no, she's in what they call the full care unit because she can't take care of herself, but she's not in memory care unit. I'm like, okay, good. Because I'm like, does she know something I don't know about like her memory? And like, no, it's fine still. So, okay, good thing they let me do that. I was like, why are they still letting me do this? I got more money for the overkill. We got the ability to overkill the other day, so. But yeah, it's been kind of stressful and wild. Baby sibling and I are talking again though, and we're gonna talk again on Saturday evening. So tomorrow evening, no, Sunday evening. Because tomorrow is my date with husband. So I'm going to be talking to my baby sibling on Sunday evening, but I'm like, don't forget, like, it's Father's Day, you know. I don't have to worry about that. Like, I never had a dad to like do the Father's Day thing with. When I was a kid and my mom was around, we used to do stuff for her, you know, somewhat jokingly, somewhat serious, because she was both of our parents. Because our dad didn't want anything ever to do with us. So we would just be like, happy Father's Day, Mom, and give her a little something. So yeah, it's hard for single parents to like hold it all down. So we really did appreciate that. But I never had to worry about, you know, it too much. But I just try to remind everybody, like, my sister normally talks to me on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and I'm just like, sis, I'm not talking to you on Sunday because it's Father's Day. So let's see, what should I get rid of? I don't want to get rid of the bone because that has good splash damage, but I suppose I have to. Have to is such a strong term, but still. But yeah, I would like to stream multiple days, but I really also need to get that stuff done I promised you with the at least the first part of the summer game stuff. Oh, by the way, there is this platform for streamers who do cozy game coverage called Jester, and apparently there is a bit of a, how do I put this, controversy, I suppose, because Jester connects like publishers and content creators of cozy stuff so that the publishers can pay to get the word out, right? That's all well and good. It's like a sponsorship or whatever. Content creators do that all the time, but it seems like Jester, or at least the people on Jester, don't always like disclose that they are doing sponsored content, sort of ish. And while it might not be Jester entirely, like the one video I saw, this guy did an expose, and here one of the main selling points, like they show different content creators like ads or content or whatever for different games is kind of a selling point. And here in the ad they didn't have like sponsored or anything right on their website. And then after this guy emailed them about the are they supposed to disclose, and then the person who runs it, one of the people, said, oh my, yes, we told them they had to. Here afterward on their site, when it didn't say sponsored before, a 4-month-old video they were showing all of a sudden had sponsored across all their videos. when it didn't before. So that was very interesting. So I feel like they're not, let's say, encouraging it as much as they should, and that's illegal. That is highly illegal. But they were talking about how, like, they saw like all these different ads for this one witch game, this baking witch game, which I think was shown at the Wholesome Showcase. I thought it looked okay. I wasn't like the most interested in it. I'm not covering that one. But here, like, he saw a bunch of different things popping up and they were not listing that they were sponsored. And all of these people who were showcasing these games that ended up recommended were recommended in the algorithm and had been following Jester. So that's how this guy kind of got onto it. Like, somebody had emailed him about this place. So if you're doing any kind of content and you get a code for free, you get money, whatever it is, you have to tell people you did. And it isn't just putting it in the description. You have to literally say, this is a sponsored ad, or this is an advertisement, or thank you, Stuff and Fluff, for fucking my asshole last night. Now I'm gonna tell you how the lube went. Like, you have to actually be really transparent with that kind of thing. Like, if you got a code or anything like that. I really think sometimes it's kind of dumb. Like, if I get like a $3 ebook someone wants me to review, and it's like I have to disclose I got it for free, and I'm like, I'm not talking shit up just because they gave me like a $3 ebook. If it sucks, it sucks. But some people, because they want more sponsorships, will suck and fluff off like a free sponsor in the hopes that it will lead to a paid sponsor. Like, oh, look at how good I shilled for them, daddy. Don't you want to pay me now? I'll suck you off like I did them. So yeah, I kind of get where you have to disclose everything, even if you're not the kind of, like, you know, lie about that sort of thing or exaggerate how much you liked something. And one of the other things was that these people who were doing the Posey content never did anything else as far as any other types of content. They were just pure cozy gamers, and yet a lot of them were actually shilling 1666 Amsterdam, New Amsterdam or whatever. And you know what I feel about that game. I was actually interested in it until we heard it was with generative AI. And if any game is with generative AI and I know about it, I will not play it. Yeah. It's called Amsterdam? Oh, yeah, Amsterdam, yeah. Amsterdam. But yeah, I'm not playing it if it has it, and it does. And like I said, they tried to walk the whole excuse of, oh, well, placeholder. Yeah, we've talked about that placeholder thing till I've been blue in the face. And I don't fucking believe it for reasons. So I'm not going to play that game or recommend that game. But yeah, it was really interesting that these cozy gamers were suddenly talking about the new Amsterdam game, or the, yeah, 1666 Amsterdam, like it's the fucking bee's knees, and they never play any other type of game for their audience. That is so fucking weird. It's almost like they were paid to do it. Because imagine, like, somebody who plays nothing but puzzle games is suddenly interested in fucking Forza. I mean, can you like other games? Yes, you sure can. Will you start like shilling out just one game of a different genre but nothing, no other game? Yeah, we've been having a lot of, you're talking about our stress and stuff. Yeah, because, or you've been talking about the gaming industry as a whole, because Jesus Christ. Because when I was talking the other day about the layoffs or potential layoffs from Microsoft, they're getting rid of fucking South of Midnight devs. The people who also did like We Happy Few, they're getting rid of those people as well. I'm not shitting you. So they're getting rid of the people who did fucking South of Midnight. Fucking wild. And they're one of the most profitable companies in the fucking world. They can't take the hit. They can't take it at all. No, I don't fucking believe you. I honestly don't fucking believe you. But that's okay, because all these companies are gonna turn into fucking little Ike friends anyway. No, he wasn't the problem. The industry has fucking major ass problems, but he wasn't the only problem. Oh, I got like life upgrades and splash damage upgrade. Let's fucking go. I'm Edgar Allan Poe. Let's fucking go. That was a really good amount of money there. Oh, okay. I was gonna say we're at a bridge already. No, we're back at the dairy. It's just a different part, I think. I wish you could kind of see where you are, because I thought I clicked on the 5th difficulty one, but now I'm not positive. Oh, no, I didn't. I clicked on the other one. Damn it. Return to village, please. I can tell because I actually have the nuclear button. And if I would have clicked on the right one instead of the wrong one like an idiot, I wouldn't have the nuclear option, because you only get that if you've actually beat the level that you're on. So hang on, Shulpers. Let's try that again. Okay, we are on the factory. Oh yeah, dairy products. Well, we're from the dairy state, so I love cheese and everything like that. That's how I got to be 18,000 pounds. All the delectable cheese here. When people meet me, they're like, oh, you're a cheesehead. I'm like, God, I hate that when people say that. That sounds like such a fucking insult to me. Like calling someone an airhead or something. But I guess it's true. I don't know how Husby feels about that, but yeah. I always kind of hate that. We're still going through Vermintide. We haven't really been playing a whole lot together because of how much, like, absolute fuckery there's been. But we're hoping to kind of get back to it. So far, Vermintide's pretty good. I've actually been thinking about playing it on stream for you all at some point. And that's probably a very long point in the future, but some point. Yeah. Play it on stream or play it together again soon. Because I've been hoping. I have not napped yet today. With everything being topsy-turvy, my sleep has been not optimal, which is okay. I can take it for a while longer. It's not good for me though. It's like I'll sleep like 2 hours and then be up 24 and then sleep for 4 and then 4 in 2 different shifts or whatever. So like I can sleep from like 8 a.m. to noon and then I'll be up to like 10 at night and then sleep like 4 more hours. It's really weird. And I know people will be like, well, that's because you don't have a consistent sleep schedule. Joke's on you. Even if I do, it doesn't matter. Because my pain or whatever can just keep me up. I have pain, I have nightmares, I have the whole gamut of wonder and mysticism. Yeah, what is consistency, right? Is this the real life? Is this consistency? We've tried Shulpers. We've tried getting on one consistent path for months and it does not help. Of course, it doesn't help that every time I go outside, like, everything resets for me. But yeah, my sister got her equipment for her business, but now they're telling her to do different stuff, and it's like, she doesn't know, like, what she has to do when. And so she needs another benefit analysis, and then Deals bony damage. What do I want to deal bony damage? Let's try this. But yeah, the thing is, I'm gonna talk about for me and my stuff, not her. Okay, I'm on SSI. I've been disabled since birth. You have to like prove that you're disabled. People think that you can just get disability, stay on it forever, and that's not true. They call you up and make sure that you have your disability still. Even me, I was born with cerebral palsy, and that hasn't gotten better. I was born with other things, they haven't gotten better, and they act like Jesus will come any day now and fix it. So every few years or whatever, and few years for me in particular because I'm a lifer, meaning I've been disabled since birth all my life long, they will actually call me up and then be like, okay, we need to verify you're still disabled. And they ask me a bunch of questions about how far I can move, all that kind of stuff. I've kind of talked about this before. But people act as though you can just stay on everything for the rest of your life, and they don't check a thing. Like, they're not gonna just, you know, they're like, oh, you're disabled, it's fine, forever you can just be fine. Nope, sorry, doesn't work that way. They check. And when I say, like, Husby is my caregiver, a lot of times they will have to have proof of that from my doctor. So my doctor has to go through everything I can do for myself. Like, people act like you don't have constant paperwork when you get certain things. Well, when you start a business, when you're disabled, when you're on the type of supplemental social security or supplemental security income is what SSI refers to. For every dollar you make after the first 65, which, by the way, the 65 was something they came up with in the 70s or 60s, I forgot which one, I think 70s. And I gotta tell you, that 65 doesn't buy much, but after 65, every $2 I make, they take away one. And then people are like, oh, that doesn't sound so bad. Okay, but bear with me here just half a second. So let's say I get $1,000 a month. I don't, I'm just saying. So if I make $2,000 a month, they take away my entire social security check. Fine, good, right? Because I'm making way more than they give me until you hit my insurance, my medical insurance. And then you remember that my wheelchair is like $16,000. And that I wouldn't be able to afford $16,000 if I was making $24,000 a year. That's before tax, that's gross, not net. So let's say I'm making, $18,000 a year. That's enough for them to take away my medication assistance, my glasses assistance, anything else I need. When I inevitably end up in the fucking hospital, they can take away everything, and I would need to pay for it all myself at $18,000 a year. And I'm sure all of you have at least made like around that much money, if not more, and could not afford a hospital stay. Could not afford a car that would have cost you like 12 to 16K. My one wheelchair, I think, would have been like 20 out of pocket, maybe. You got to remember, the government actually dicks with the medical equipment company, and they don't pay full price. I'd have to. So, well, they can say, oh, you think that wheelchair is worth $25,000? Well, it's only worth $18,000 to us. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm not allowed that luxury like they are, talking them down. But even if I were, I wouldn't be able to afford it. So if I don't get at least $1 of my social security check, they either kick me on a different insurance that covers way less, or my insurance goes away entirely. And I cannot afford to lose my insurance. And that's any disabled person who wants to have a job has to into that line where you work and pay taxes, but you don't make enough to actually free you from the clutches of the fucking machine, because you can't pay for yourself after that. So you have people trying to straddle the line so they can feel useful and be a taxpayer, but still get their insurance, because without their insurance they could fucking die. They have medications that you can't just pay for out of pocket. They have $500 insulin, they have, you know, anticoagulants and all these other meds. But people are just like, get a job, you lazy bum. And it's like, even the people who can work part-time, if their insurance gets taken away, they are fucked. They are dead. So people have no idea what it's like to straddle that line. I can't work at all. I've worked it out. I could maybe work 1 day a week for like 4 hours max. And then I wouldn't be able to like do anything else during the week pretty much. Because like 1 day a week outside is pretty much all I can manage. 2 if I'm lucky and I'm not doing anything stressful during that time. But the rest of the time, my brain is just gone. My brain is just like, yep, not here. Please leave a message. So I'd have 4 hours a week in me. That wouldn't be enough to do anything. That wouldn't be enough to actually make income for taxes. Like, how many taxes are you getting out of me for 4 hours a week? That wouldn't be enough to change my life in any beneficial way. As a matter of fact, it would give me the like usable hours outside where I could be, you know, going to an extra appointment that I need or whatever. They would be taking that away. And that's another thing. That would be working probably instead of going to my doctor appointment, which I actually need to survive. So people don't understand just how difficult it is to straddle that line. Now, there are disabled people who do and can work, but another thing is a lot of accommodations employers don't want to deal with. Employers don't want to deal with like accommodating you by letting you work from home, or accommodating you by giving you a different type of desk or more bathroom breaks. That's another thing. As a wheelchair user who does not walk, my bathroom breaks, and I know a lot of people this is also true for, my bathroom breaks are not 10-minute shelpers. If I'm in a bathroom where I don't have my exact layout and everything, which yes, there is the ADA, but the ADA only does so much. If I'm in a bathroom that's not suited for me, and I'm in my wheelchair, I have to get out of my wheelchair, onto the floor, from the floor to the toilet, from the toilet, you know, back onto the floor. It takes me a while. So even peeing in a public place, you know, in the bathroom, in a public bathroom, not just on the floor somewhere, takes me like almost a half an hour because of how difficult it is to, you know, park it, get out, move around. I need my walker. I need just a bunch of different stuff. So it's not like I can just, you know, sit down, pull down my pants, go whatever, and get back up. It's not like I can run to the bathroom in like 5 minutes. It doesn't happen. And what are the odds you're gonna have a boss that's gonna be like, oh, you need like 2 bathroom breaks a day for a half an hour each? Plus, you know, you need to be able to eat lunch and stuff. That's gonna be fine. They're gonna look at you and say, you need at least an hour in the bathroom a day. Are you nuts? Like, we're not paying you for that. Which, even if they weren't, they'd be like, well, you still have to be at your desk. And it's like, but I can't. So there is something when they do accommodations called a reasonable accommodation. And reasonable means very nebulous things. because there is hardly any consistency. Because you could say to someone, well, this thing that you need is not reasonable. Like, you needing a higher desk is reasonable and access to a disabled bathroom. You needing an hour in that bathroom is not reasonable. You getting sick because of your random ass flares where you can only show up like 2 days a week, but we're supposed to pay you full time and not fire you is not reasonable. Like, there are some accommodations that really are not something that a boss can help you with, but there are some things a boss can help you with that would just take a little time and or money on their part, and they're just thinking to themselves, well, fuck it, I would rather just pay an employee I don't have to do all this other stuff for. Like, why should I have to pay to make my office more accessible when I can just find a candidate who doesn't need all this? So if they can say, well, hiring you is just not feasible because it's not reasonable, then they don't have to. So it's kind of wild, but it's also very true. It's like, how are you supposed to work that out, you know? Okay, we were here. Let's go here. I know there we are. I was gonna say, I know there's a treasure chest around here someplace. And let's give him this. Very nice. I like to give the piddly cards extra damage that way. I know it's probably misuse of a power-up, but who cares? It's working. Yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I think I'm mostly done with the book game I've been playing, the bookshop simulator for now anyway, because I do have the 3 bookstores that are already in the game fully expanded and stuff like that, and I have most of the books available. Shit, I shouldn't have got that. I know that they're gonna add more items and stuff eventually, which will be really cool, because they also want to add new places on the map, but I don't know when that's happening, so it's still in early access. Sometimes my brain is like, if we would wait and not get it in early access, then I would be able to have more game to play, but I put in like 70 some hours into it already, I think. So, and I can just mess around. I'll show you. Like I said, I do plan on, if I stream twice next week, I was gonna stream this and then show you what Bookshop Simulator is like for one stream, not having you put up with like me doing it all from the beginning, but just so you can see what's there. Maybe if I think about it, I'll jot down some of like my hopes for the game, like some of the things they can still add, etc. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not gonna have you like sit through me like developing a whole place. It's like Card Shop Simulator or whatever it was. I didn't force you all to like watch me like power up a million times or whatever. I just showed you what the game was about. Nope, not yet. I hope I really don't need to sacrifice a card for the healing, but I can if I want to. So yeah, even if I do stream twice next week, I am going to do the first part of the gameplay, or let's say I intend on it. Let me not say I'm going to after this week, eh? But I intend on doing it and releasing it like closer to the weekend. That way I have some kind of video further down the line, and that my channel doesn't stay like dormant for almost a week because I haven't streamed. I really have to get back on like making videos as well as other stuff, but the videos that I make that are just gameplay are easier on my energy, at least, so I don't have to worry about the spoons of like research and whatnot. But I wish I could do more of that for you all as well. It's hard to balance out like my life as a writer and everything else with you know, literally doing all the scripted content. And as my sister goes along and she is going to be doing more stuff to get her business ready, I know that I'm going to be doing a fair bit of that with her, for her, whatever, because she's like really nervous about a lot of the other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know the business side of it either. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to apply for when and stuff. I can research it, but like there isn't a whole hell of a lot out there, I don't think, that talks about like starting a business from a like a disabled perspective. So some of the indicators she gets might not be accurate to her, but I will try and find some stuff out for her if possible. And I'm gonna try to help her with her social media, at least regarding proofreading and stuff like that. I'm like, it's been a long time since I've had a grammar refresher though. I might be incorrect about some usages nowadays, but she's doing pretty basic stuff just for, she wants to do a bunch of posts for Pride Month next month. Not this Pride Month, next Pride Month. Next Pride Month is Disability Pride Month. So she wants to talk about the flag, what the flag means.
Sorry.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, bless you. Are you okay? Yeah. I jumped out of my socks after you apologized. I'm like, are you okay? As though we ended up in like some kind of fender bender. But yeah, she wants to talk about the pride flag, what the colors mean, all that kind of stuff. So I'll try to help her. Plus she wants to like match people, like disabled people, with the colors, like different types of disabilities, and like quotes from them, or maybe what they did that made them famous and stuff like that. Today I saw something on Instagram that was talking about like people with Down syndrome that are famous because they were either like running triathlons or actors or the first one to be a model, whatever it was. And so I sent that to her for like inspiration and stuff, that she could maybe like talk about. Some of them were popular like painters and stuff like Down syndrome or whatever. She has a problem because she's always a little leery about speaking over other disabled people, and I'm like, that's not what this is about. He's trying to be an advocate, and I'm like, being an advocate is also about like shining light on others and stuff. You're not speaking over them when you do this. You're just like bringing awareness to them. But I get that. It's more tricky when you go across like race and stuff, but to me, as a disabled activist, I don't think that it's quite as negative when you are a disabled person speaking to another disabled person or about them, as long as you're not like excluding them from the conversation or being a dick about their disability or whatever. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna keep it 100. I've talked about this before, but I've known quite a few deaf people who've been ableist as fuck toward like lifers, like people who have like cerebral palsy like I do, because they always try to insinuate that they're not disabled, not like those other people, i.e. like me, and how they don't have cognitive impairments or disabilities or whatever. They don't always say that in the nicest terms, so I'm trying to say that in a way that would be not what they would say, but you get what I'm saying, if that's not confusing enough. But I've known more than one deaf person, and I've known more than one autistic person as well that have been very not, let's say, not inclusive regarding other disabilities, specifically developmental disabilities that are not autism, but include things like cerebral palsy and Down syndrome, like the developmental disabilities. And they will often like put people down or even talk eugenics, which I think is absolutely fucking wild. Like, you'll have people on the autism spectrum or deaf or whatever talking about eugenics, but of course, not them. Definitely not them. Because they're not truly disabled, or they're not truly like the problems of society, quote unquote. And it's like, the problems of society is the society is often run by jackasses. Like you, basically. So it's kind of sad watching them like twist themselves into knots trying to be the specialist people ever, that I'm not really disabled, I'm not this or that. And so many people don't want to be associated with the term disabled because of the connotations it comes with, because they were taught it's a bad word, or to call yourself disabled is to give up, or whatever the fuck it is. And so I don't really want to deal with those kind of people. But then if you talk about your disability and you're not like ultra ashamed of it, they're like, oh, you just gave up, or oh, you just want whatever. And it's like, no, it's just reality. It's like me saying I'm a fat woman. It's not me disparaging myself to say I'm fat. I can use it in a disparaging way. You can use the term fat in a disparaging way. But just by saying like I'm fat is not necessarily disparaging. Just like saying I'm disabled isn't disparaging. Calling me a spaz or whatever, knowing I have spastic cerebral palsy, we're getting there now. Like, there's a difference. So I told her not to worry about it so much, as long as she comes at it with good intentions, always wanting to learn, spreading awareness. And because what happens if like people want to know about other like disabled creatives, and here you're like telling them, and that's a good thing. You know, she worries also about like selling products that have to do with like cancer awareness when she doesn't have cancer. I'm like, you know, people who sell like cancer awareness stuff, they don't always have cancer, and if they do, they don't always have the specific cancer. Like, can you imagine the only time you're supposed to like spread the word about cancer or do like cancer awareness benefits or whatever is if you would have had that cancer? So every specific person needs every specific cancer to talk about it or whatever? Like, no. And cancer does fall under disability. Whether people who are like have cancer, like if they want to fall under it or not, it falls under it. Because cancer is a disease, so. But yeah, she's like, I would like to do like an awareness stuff for different cancers, but she's like, I haven't had cancer, and I'm like, well, thank God for that. I like, you know how, where is the line? Can you know people with cancer to sell cancer stuff? Like, I always find this so tricky. Like, there is a whole discussion to be had about people who practice like rainbow capitalism, where they don't really give a fuck about gay pride or trans people or whatever, but they'll sell products to get those trans people or their allies to buy stuff. Like, there's a whole different conversation to be had about, you know, people who actually trot out all the flags in June and then bury them in July. However, that's not what this is. I'm doing okay so far in this run. I'm waiting to hit the wall, because usually there are walls, which is why I tried very hard to get everything going before stream. I did not want to hit the wall, because I hate stalling out instead of making progress on a stream. I always feel so terrible when you all are watching the same thing. I'm like, I don't want to do this to the shelpers, but I'm assuming it's okay. I mean, mostly y'all never tell me that I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible, you're fucking up so bad. So we did get like a couple of games that I want to give a try. And I'm thinking about, because the Cozy Gaming Showcase and stuff, that there are a lot of game demos that came out with the summer gaming shit, that I could also do some of those for you all at some point. But again, I know I've been terrible at making videos beyond anything other than streams. And I don't know if you all like that better, to be honest. Like, I'm sure having exclusive content for YouTube is better. I mean, I can't guarantee it, obviously, but I don't want people who subscribe to my YouTube channel to feel screwed because I have not been putting up new content exclusively for them at this time. But I also have to, like, figure out submitting and all that shit. I really wish I would have 50 submissions out again. I really like having that many out. It makes me feel good, like, secure. I've been getting more of my acceptances published lately, which is always nice. I did that bass backwards. I should have used the wild card wand and then the big holy water or whatever. Too late to go back now. I'm just doing the best I can. I saw something about Elon Musk's $1 trillion, and they were trying to tell you what like a trillion was, and it's so hard because even the concept of a billion people don't have, really, because those kind of numbers just are not things that we see. So, and then of course, like, a lot of the tech bros defend him and say, well, it's not like he has all of it on hand. It's like all tied up. It's like on paper he's worth $1 trillion. And it's like, okay, but he could dump his stock. Like, but they act like it's impossible. Oh, he can't do that, or that wouldn't make sense, or he'd only get like 5 pennies. They act as though he lives on like $100,000 a year and the rest of it he can't fucking touch, and that's not how any of this works. But they don't want us to like look into it any deeper or know what we're talking about. They hope we just like forget like he can liquidate his assets and stuff. It's banana pants. I swear, Shelpers, if I ever won like hundreds of millions of dollars, I wouldn't keep hardly any of that. You can live a great life on a fraction of even that, much less billions. I would really want to do something good with it. I would want to help people. I would want to make a difference. I don't want my casket to be lined in gold. I don't need that. We need to make things better for people on Earth now. We need to help people now. We need to make sure that food and clean water and everything like that happens now. Not somebody else's problem in the future. It's just so wild to me. But then again, I've never been rich, so maybe that's why it's wild. Maybe when you're rich, not feeling for other people is just normal to you. Because you think that because you got famous or rich or whatever, that you are the chosen one. That you deserved everything you got, even if you were just born into it. Okay, let's see if we can... Actually, let's get the freezing going. Very nice. Oh, they're gonna hit me, and they're gonna hit me hard. Oh no. I do like how much mana I've been having lately. That makes me feel good. I wonder if it's one of my crawlers. It has to be. But yeah, this crawler makes me very nice and tingly. Just all the way over. But yeah, PlayStation put out a thing about AI on their guidelines or whatever, and it's like, Jesus Christ, yes, we know. You don't want to pay anybody to do anything. You don't want to think for yourselves. You have no actual creativity left. We get it. Like, tell us without telling us, I guess, or show us without, I don't know. It's just, it's sad. It's pathetic. Where is the excitement for new ideas? I know, lost in the grab for cash. Oh my god, that was so hard for me to say for some fucking reason. Or no fucking reason. But yeah, they're even using it for their concept phases, which should be the brainstorming fun phase. They're just like, what is fun? We need money. It's so sad. I would just, you know, if you could get in there and like design video games and characters and stories, that sounds like fun. I mean, yeah, I guess you have to worry about what would sell as well, but it still should be fun for you. I think everybody eventually just loses why they do shit in the first place. Oh, we don't have to worry about it. We don't, you know, we got into this for this reason, but we need money now. Even though they're like the huge companies. And they're not doing anything really for their audiences anymore anyway. I mean, I forget which company it was, but they said they're trying to get us used to the fact that gaming hardware is going to become a luxury. Well, fuck, a Birkin bag and a Rolex watch are luxuries. If it's a luxury, I can't fucking have it. Like, there's no way in hell. I was hoping to find some food, and I'm just finding more trouble. Yeah. But yeah, it's just something else. It's a luxury, is it? Well, guess that ain't happening for me. That's why we're gaming more on PC. Because if it's a luxury, then it's a luxury we can't afford. And you could argue that, you know, gaming has always been a luxury because if you really need the money, you wouldn't buy it at all. But, you know, that's a whole different argument, technically. Ah, fuck. Well, wiped out. Even after all the upgrading I did, by the way, Shelpers. Ah, fuck me twice. Is there anything I can afford that would help before we go out again? XP per rank, that would help, I guess. Let's do more coins per rank, because we really need that. Let's see if we unlocked anybody at the saloon. It's not her yet. I need purple girl. Let me take her though.
You are wise to want my company.
Okay, let me take her and then add 40 damage when a purple card is played. Okay, then I will take, yeah, because she heals, the nun does, so let's try that. I don't know if she'll heal me enough, but yeah, it's pain. I was hoping to have made it through more before I hit the wall, but people are like, this game is so easy when you have the right build. I'm like, yeah, but it kind of depends too. Like, you start off so easy, like, see right there, just so easy, but it doesn't stay that way. Oops. So next week, if I only stream once, it might be the book game. Eventually, I am going to try to get my cards together and show all of you. But the hands cam thing is a little difficult because, you know, we have to like put them on a stack of video games and it's always so jank. It's kind of funny, but I wish I had a better setup for it for all of you. I know you all don't mind, but oh, fuck me twice. I did this the wrong way around. That's okay. Worked out anyway. Ha! Oops. But yeah, I'm hoping with the nun it'll be a little bit less painful. Sister, ease my pain. Ease ma. Okay, where am I going now? Okay, there it is. They found like this almost glow spider with like blue glowing spots. I don't remember where, but it was like one of like a lot of different creatures that they discovered recently. And people are like, spiders wouldn't have that coloring, and I'm like, have you ever seen like certain types of frogs that are toxic? They have the venom and stuff. Well, they usually are very, very bright because it's to ward off predators. It's like telling a predator, you know, touch me and you'll be sorry. Okay, let me see. I guess we'll take this one so it can lead off. But yeah, I think it's really cool that we're still seeing new species and whatnot. So many people are like, oh, we already know what's out there and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't. The ocean is so vast. I promise you, you don't know everything that's out there. And it's a good thing to keep that wonder, because who knows if we keep looking what we will find. Okay, don't eat that. Don't eat that, Toluca. Don't eat that, dumb bitch. Hold on. So many times I just back my fat ass into it. And it's like, oh shit. Alright. Well, at least they're not attacking me this go around. Who the hell taught the iguanas to use swords, by the way? Yeah, you had to know something bad was gonna happen there. Okay, I think I'll take some armor. Better go and get my armor. Every time I hear armor now, I think of the one song that's like, maybe I'll crash into you. The one that I've already put it up as a song of the day. I am glad I'm doing song of the day again, even though it's not consistent still. But I don't post every day on my Blue Sky. I really should. The Discord is honestly dead. I wish that I had more people in there, but because I was gonna share a bunch of stuff, I should just share like nobody's like it doesn't matter. Because I know I have at least 1 or 2 people in my Discord, probably 1, let's be real, that would care very much about what I post and why. I should post either on my Blue Sky or in there about the thing with Jester, like the video I saw. Because sometimes I like listen to weird ass stuff whilst I'm busy with other stuff, like doing my planning out of like my blog or something. I have a yellow trigger person, I think. Isn't that Puggy? I don't know. Adds all color triggers. That sounds even better. Here we go. Why settle for one color when you can get them all? There is like another color in the rainbow, by the way. It's not something we can detect with our eyes. And I think, I don't remember what they said that it's supposed to be. But I'm just thinking about like Terry Pratchett, and he talked about magic being like something to do with the 8th color of the rainbow. And I was like, oh my god, he knew it was there. But yeah, I don't even know what it's called, but I'm sure other like animals could probably see it if they could, you know, make it out. Animals can definitely see different spectrums and stuff than we can. Okay, here we go. See? Got some nice triggers going on. Very nice, very sweet, very delicious. So that all color trigger for your crawlers is actually extremely fucking helpful. Ah, no, I did it. I did it. Oh, Shelpers, I'm an idiot. Okay. That's alright. We don't need to heal ever, I'm sure. We're not gonna start getting our ass beat in the QTs. That's not something that's gonna happen. When we hit the boss, probably, but that's alright. Okay, we should not go this way yet. We should go the other way. And yes, I could avoid the enemies, but then I don't get power-ups as much, like level-ups. And that's not something I'm going to risk. We definitely need all the help we can get. There we go. I can sacrifice that card easily if I ever need a power-up. By the way, they are upgrading the characters, I think, in Dead by Daylight, or they did. And it really looks like the... whatever the fuck 5, the DRM, DLM, DABCD, the thing that was like AI enhanced, it really looks like that, Shelpers. I'm not saying it is that, but it really looks like it. Husby would be able to tell me the exact name, but... Okay, the Dead by Daylight figures, when they got their like upgrades for their like hair and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what
But it looks like that DSRML5, whatever. DLSS. Well, who the fuck's gonna remember that name? But anyway, it looks like that thing. That fucking thing he said. I'm not saying it is, but it sure as Christ looks like it, Shelpers. Isn't that weird? I'm not saying it is. Like AI and AI assisted or whatever. I'm just saying, looks a little strange. Okay, we're just leaving that there and all my allegedness. But yeah, I hope it's not. I mean, now that they know people are pushing back against AI bullshit. Oh, by the way, so whether you like AOC, which is the Alexandra Cortez, whatever the fuck person, the politician, whether you like her or not, and I have problems with her, she actually went to places where there are data centers. Okay, deal current kill total as damage to an enemy. Deal armor as damage when played. I am getting a fair bit of armor lately, but I don't know if that's gonna help. You know what? I'm gonna take the money. Fuck it. But anyway, she went to places where the data centers are being put in, and surprise of all surprises, the data centers seem to have problems pop up around them. Like the one lady was showing off her water coming out of her faucet and how it was really gross looking and everything, and she never had that happen until this data center was coming in. And this other woman just happened to have a sinkhole like fall into her backyard, and just a few other things. There is no oversight, there is no checks on the environmental impact of these fucking things. There are no anything. And the one woman whose water was affected, she's like, I know they're necessary, but I don't want them in where I am, or they don't need to be here where I am. And it's like, okay, Margaret, where the fuck do you want them? In poor black communities? Because that's what you make it sound like. Like, where the fuck do you want them? In the land literally nobody lives on, nobody uses, etc.? Because, it just sounds like, yeah, I want them. I just don't want them in my backyard. So, apparently they're having difficulties. And Cortez is just like, we need, like, regulation around them and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you're not going to get them. They're moving so fast. They're trying to get you to just to look the other way. And they're just like, oh, they're necessary. Okay, why are they necessary? What are you actually using them for? Besides AI piss filter memes. Is any of that AI for medical AI to do early cancer detection? Is it for the type of thing that would give like better weather detection? Because there is some type of proof out there about AI and weather patterns, because one of the only things that AI is good for is like computational algorithmic consistency. What do you mean no? What do you mean? You're telling me that that's not what we're doing? We're doing it for the memes? We're doing it for drones to kill little brown children in different countries? You don't say. You don't fucking say. Ugh. Killing our planet, killing people, all nice things. But you know, they get a lot of money from everybody, so we should just shut up and take it, right? Everybody? No? Why doesn't that sound nice? I don't know. Guess you're not making billions of dollars off of dead brown people. Maybe that's why it doesn't sound so nice to you. Maybe if you were, it would sound nicer. Right? CEO of the fucking... that got booed, the second guy? I tell ya, just frustrates the hell out of me. We should be using this to help people. Keep people alive. If we have to have an extra few data centers for all this shit, we should be doing it to help humanity, not to line people's pockets, not to make war even dirtier. But like I said, I have no money. Maybe if I had money and stuff, I would be all over this. Maybe if I could profit hurting people, I'd be like, yes, please, more pain, more dirty water, more AI delusions, more people, you know, being talked into sewer sliding because of the AI having its little fucking hallucinations. I mean, it wouldn't matter to me. I'd be rich in my ivory tower, right? Lay sigh. And you have so many people now that are just like, well, it's inevitable. But we can control the inevitability. We can demand checks. We can demand accountability. It's like, how do I put this? Temu is like a really cheap place to shop. And everybody who's in like most countries has heard of Temu nowadays. Because it does the shop like a billionaire commercials and stuff. And Temu is horrible. Like, there have been so many different things that have needed to be tested, and so many other products aren't safe. They contain like carcinogens and lead and stuff, and like shoes have like lead in them and stuff. And every time they are caught with like a bad product, Temu's like, well, yeah, we're not the seller quite. We're just like a marketplace. You can't fine us for that because we're not the ones making the product. We're just helping sellers find buyers. So it's not really our fault. And it's like, really, Queen? Like, this is what you're going with? And it is what they're going with. And they have a way to avoid getting like checks and balances because their stuff ships out in containers that are so low cost that they're not even checked from like the Port Authority. Card always benefits from combo. Here we go. Hopefully I gave that to the right one. Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, they're very sneaky and very shitty. Like, there was like a baby teething glove that had bad chemicals on it, and it's like, yeah, they figured it out, but they figured it out and people still have that. People still have it in their homes. They're like, well, we issue recalls, but they're not the ones doing the testing. They're letting consumer groups do the testing and then just going, oh, we're recalling it, never mind. When something ends up with, like I said, a bunch of like illegal or bad chemicals. They don't give a shit. And they're losing money overall. But what they're doing is they're losing money in the short term for over a few years to gain so much of the fucking market share. And when they were starting to be called on some of their shitty practices by the American like public and stuff, they ended up just putting more of their investment into Europe, like the UK and shit, because oh, you guys aren't gonna test us as much, so we're just gonna put our money here. It's a really, really shitty, scummy, like underhanded thing they got going on. I should also like send you that doc that somebody had with the proof in it. And yeah, people can lie on the internet. I'm not saying every time I see like an expose I believe it wholesale. That's not. But what I am saying is when they bring you, like, so many people are blowing that whistle, like eventually the game is called. The whistle is blown enough times, the game is called. And they just don't want to believe it. They just don't want to deal with it. So I don't shop at Temu. And they also have had places that have seemed like they don't really stop the use of, let's say, forced labor. And they're like, again, they're like, well, it's not us. We just sell the stuff. But yeah, you find like hidden keywords and they don't stop the hidden keywords. And some of the keywords are like definitely from regions where they use slave labor. Oh, that's fine, right? Because it's not them doing the active selling. They're just putting it up for other people. God, I fucking hate scummy billionaire corporations. Ugh. That's one of the reasons they say there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, though, because a lot of times you don't really know where everything you eat or drink or buy is sourced. Like, it's really hard to keep track of literally every fucking product. Like, Nestle is a problematic company, but many people don't know Nestle also owns like DiGiorno Pizza and whatever the fuck else. Because they play this really great game of like shell corporation or like sub companies or whatever. It sucks. So you can try to be conscious of things, but sometimes there is no alternative. And then you have companies that sell things at a major discounted price, and you might be too poor to afford shopping from other places that are more ethical, but also way more difficult to, you know, figure out if they're anyway, you get what I'm saying. I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on with my life. I don't know if we're gonna get through this one. I hope we will. I think we only made it through 2 stages so far. And then we failed at this one, which sucked balls. I wish I were doing a bit better, let's say, but was this the one that wiped me out, or we'll find out later. He's got dancing feet. Probably trying to fucking start a fire with all that friction under there. Oh, well, I only took 4 so far. That's not too horrible. He probably is one of those ones that gets like more damage as he goes on, though. Let's find out. Well, I stopped him from damaging me that time. That's good. Not the most optimal of optimals, but because he's just gonna come back around. Agnala is supposed to be helpful. Okay, this must not have been him then, because I shouldn't have been able to like off him as easily as I did. Am I gonna get the overkill? Probably not. The master overkill. Almost. I think it taps out at 500. At least at this point. So no, I didn't get it. Okay, let me down. How many floors do we have to go? I think we're on floor of 6. I'm hoping we can make it. I've been grinding in the library, and that sounds wrong, but I've been trying to gain money from the library level for so long. I'm like, please let me get through so I have another level to grind. So that was good. Oh, that's nice. And then I will do 1 max health, and then I can do this. So that's pretty much everything I can do on that turn. I could also use the auto fighter, I just don't want to. Sometimes, like when I'm doing stuff alone, I can just keep hitting X. But sometimes the computer does not do the optimal setup for me. And I'm like, I could have done that better on my turn. And then the game's probably like, well, then why didn't you, asshole? And I'm like, good question, good ask, I don't know. Ooh. I'll take that so it hurts them twice. Nice. We'll take this. Usually I use it to give away to the greedy card gods, but we'll see. I am doing somewhat okay. I'm not having the best luck, otherwise I would have beat this level by now, but each run is different. It's one of the reasons I like roguelikes, because each run you never quite know what you're gonna get, and some people hate that because they're like, I would have beat this fucking thing if it wouldn't have fucked me over, which true. But still, I'm gonna make you cost less, that way I get more XP or HP as I go along. But yeah, if you're looking for people to, you know, watch to give you the strats, that ain't me. Like, I don't look up like every nuance of a game to get like the most out of it or whatever. I can give you like the basics, but I'm never going to be a speedrunner or somebody who come to for like even the most nitty gritty of a video game. Nitty bitty, in other words. Speaking of Nvidia, Nvidia is the only one really making bank on this whole AI thing so far. The rest of the companies are still losing, but hoping it pans out in the future. Kind of like staying with your toxic boyfriend because you're hoping he takes you to Hawaii for your 5th anniversary, when you know it doesn't even matter. It's going to be a horrible time because you're with him. That's kind of what this is. But since I guess Nvidia fucking makes money, they're like, it's only a matter of time. Okay, let's see what I should pick here. Oh, they'll destroy it in a minute. It'll be fine. Yeah, we at least got the growth going on. Oh, I think this is the one that killed me, right? Maybe? Or the one shortly after this one, maybe. Okay, hold the phone. Alright. I'm gonna try to do this in a very... Okay, now I can afford the whole thing. I'm gonna take 4 damage again. Ouch. So it might not have been this person. Pugnala will help. Pugnala will travel. Because she can be comboed forever, apparently, somehow. Do I know how to do that? Fuck no. But I know she can. Everybody's like, oh, she combos forever. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. Yeah, people are talking about what they're doing on the 4th of July. We're not doing anything that I know of. I'm jumping a lot because of the fucking fireworks, but otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. I hate being so jumpy. I jump at everything. Part of that's the disability, though. I'm very easy to startle. the girl who played Lilo in the animated version of Lilo and Stitch, and Samara from like The Ring and whatnot, the American one, you know, not Ringu, she died. And I think it said of like meningitis or something, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Meningitis is fucking serious, yo. People often take so many of these illnesses like, oh, you know, it's kind of serious. No, it's very, very serious. You know, I just hate it when people are like, oh, it's not a big deal. So, yeah, be careful. Get tested if you need to, etc. Easier said than done in the American healthscape that is our medical industry, though. I get that. Ouch. Okay, maybe this is how I bid it. Having so many people just keep attacking me. I don't know if my offense is keeping up with my need for defense. Probably not. Okay, we can do this. Not like that really mattered, but if I had anybody that triggered anything, that would help. Okay, Pugnala. Okay, let's go this way. There we go. I'm hoping to trigger more stuff for the blue lady, the nun, because she will keep me alive longer. That's her goal in life, is to watch me thrive. And we'll see if that works, but I think when you play a blue card, she heals you at the end of a round, and Lord knows I need that. I need that really bad. I need that. What the hell, Toluca? I'm having a different accent every day of my life, I guess. Okay, hold on. Freezing might be beneficial currently. I don't need it too much right now, but all right. We're doing decently. Husby streamed late last night. He streamed Gunfire Reborn, which is a pretty good game. Here we thought he beat it because at one point I could have sworn the level he was on afterwards, it was like you win if you beat the level, but there was more after it, and we're just kind of like, what? I mean, I kind of remember there being more after it, but at the same time, like, that might have also been on the Xbox. And one of the things about Gunfire is that the Xbox does not get fucking updated. So what was at the beginning is just there. Okay. So he made it through like a really long run of Gunfire and then a really short run, but he didn't manage to beat it on stream yet. He's gonna try to stream late night once a week. And by late night, I mean probably closer to midnight our time, which we're in Central, but I don't know for sure. But usually after second meal, we usually eat around 11 a lot of times. So we'll see. I'm hoping he does, because he does want to stream more. He just really doesn't always get there for what various reasons, I guess I should say. I was gonna say whatever reason, but I know some of them. Life's just been hectic for one. But yeah, he's gonna be doing that, and he was thinking maybe Sunday, but I don't know. We don't know. Would be nice. I'm helping him try to figure things out a little bit, because I know that it's nice to just hang out on stream once in a while. And he has friends that come in to his stream where he can like talk to them and stuff. So it's kind of like a hangout session, which is kind of what I'd hoped mine would be at one point, is to find people to hang out with and do stuff with and whatnot. so I'm happy that he has that kind of community around him where he has friends. That's important. Okay, we're not getting hit this time anyway. I thought I was gonna get hit. I'm like, oh shit. But no, I made it. I made it through. Oof. Breaks out into song because I made it. Okay, we have this boss on this floor. Okay. Okay, I have to do this because if I do the other one, then it isn't gonna matter. Okay. Not too bad. Oof. I still got hit. Here I'm like, not too bad, and the game's like, are you sure about that? No, no. Not really. Yeah, this sword fucker. Okay. The sword fucker is the one that was ramming me from behind. Okay. We're gonna try. I'll try to be more mindful of what I attack with when. Oh fuck, okay. He doesn't have the eye yet, so he's not technically on me yet. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh, now he is. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get pounded. I'm gonna get pounded in the ass. Shit. 10. There that goes. Overkill. Nice. Then again, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was the next person. Every time I see a new enemy, I'm like, that's the one that killed me. Well, not quite. Since it wasn't, that means I at least got through most of the floors. And that's a good thing. What should I have for money? I guess I'll do the wand. That way I don't clog up like a really expensive card or really good cards like gem slot, but I would also have something fairly low down if I needed the coinage to count for the extra damage. Okay, there we go. It staved them off for one time. That's as good as I can do, and they're still gonna... Oh, I guess not. I was gonna say they're still gonna hurt me, but I made that one by the skin of my asshole. Pucker up. So I've heard they're gonna make a sequel to the Grinch game that we played on stream a couple years back. I don't know. I heard that from Husby, and then I heard from Sister that they're gonna be doing a live action Grinch like with Jim Carrey. Another one of those. But I don't know how. They've been saying that for ages, and every time I see where that rumor comes from, it's always like an AI poster of like just his like hand or whatever. So I'm like, I don't know. It's wild what people lie about on the internet, so yeah, I've seen that poster so often. Then again, I didn't think like we would ever get Practical Magic 2 or whatever the fuck, so who knows what they're trying to reboot, honestly. And the only way I can see them doing a live action Grinch sequel, I could be wrong, they could go the way of having the mayor like come back for like revenge. But I thought about when in the movie they have this part where his little basket where he was born and he's coming into Whoville and the wind blows weirdly and then he gets knocked off course with a Who baby and he ends up in Whoville and the baby ends up probably in Grinchville. I really thought that there would be a possibility like the Who that grew up in Grinchville would actually come back to Whoville, or the Grinch would actually look for his people because he's obviously not originally from Whoville. So I thought that's the way they could do it, but sounds a little too basic on the outset, but that would be like the jumping off point. I did see the teaser trailer for Shrek 5, and I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed. And people, there was somebody in the comments who was just like, oh, all these people are upset that they're getting older and that it's not for them, and it's like, no. For one thing, there were always adult jokes in the series. Like, I don't know if you remember how many adult jokes were in the first Shrek, but let's say more than a few. In actuality, quite a few more than a few. It hints that Lord Farquaad has a boner when he's looking at the picture of Fiona. It basically, when it talks about, you know, Puss in Boots in the second one having catnip, Lord Farquaad compensating for something because of his large castle. There were so many different hints with adult content, or adult jokes, I should say, not content, that it's not it. The fact that Pinocchio wears like women's stockings, which go Pinocchio if that's what you want to do it yourself. But there were just so many things that were not quote unquote kid approved or known in those movies, and to say like, oh, they're just upset that like they're growing up, like there were always adult jokes in Shrek for the adults, because a good kid movie is going to have enough entertainment for the adults as well, so that they're not just sitting in agony over the fucking movie the whole time. There's gonna be like little hat tips or whatever that make it more bearable in a good kids movie that the kids won't necessarily understand. But as far as like the kid jokes, like there's a part where Gingy is like got like gumdrop stuck to his butt and is like twerking his gumdrop butt, talking about how he's all caked up, and I'm just like, I can imagine the parents of like 7-year-olds having a time telling them not to like shake their butt at people and say that.
Let's dance.
Like, I wouldn't want to be the parent in that situation, because Jesus. I know there's always a whole, you have to think about what your kids watch and blah blah blah. I get that, but I was just like, it wouldn't be me. Like, I would not want that to be something I would have to like keep track of with my kids. Then again, do you know how many kids saying like lyrics to words or whatever that they, or lyrics to songs, lyrics to words, yeah, that they didn't know what was being said? I mean, how many little kids sang the song Candy Shop thinking it was about a candy shop? And spoiler alert, not really, no. Not that kind. Okay, we're gonna take this thing, and then we're gonna do this one. Okay, if I apply this and then this, okay, I froze them. Okay, good, good, good. Because I'm like, they're gonna, motherfucker. Thank you. Because I thought I froze him. I'm like, I'm not gonna have to deal with him till next time. It's like, oh bitch, you thought. Man alive. Okie dokie. We're not doing horribly, but we're not doing particularly well. Okay, I can dip my card into the end. I can get some dinner eventually. I can get some dinner. That's nice. Okay. We're going to hold our breasts and praise the sun. Because that could have gone a lot worse. Okay, that could have gone better. Every time I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad, the game's like, wanna bet? No game, I don't. They're starting to put more trailers out for Evil Dead Burn or whatever the hell the new one's called, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to see it. I have a problem with the Evil Dead movies, and it's the let's just say the body horror type stuff. I don't like torture porn, which is essentially what like a lot of it is. Because when the things take you over, how it makes sure like you're hurt. I'm not a fan of that at all. So it's rough. I mean, couldn't you show like different things in order to make it? Then again, it's one of the things the series is known for, so they're like, no, we can't change it. Which, fair, I guess. But I'm not a fan of like Saw and whatnot because of that like extreme like body horror and whatnot. I'm like, okay, so you're showing a lot of gruesome shit and just that's it for me. It just does not tickle my pickle as a horror lover, I guess. Okay, we're gonna do this one, even though it's not gonna kill him. Maybe it did enough? Nope. That still sucked. Ow. I tried. I honestly did. I don't think we're making it through this one. Maybe I need different characters in order to figure things out, but I don't know. Okay, I should have just done that all the way along. I did not make the optimal usage out of all those, I don't think. But at least I kept them from hitting me at that point. I don't know if I want to see the new Resident Evil either. I'd have to see new trailers, but it seems really fucking disconnected from everything. You know, and they want to make a big deal out of like, oh, the other ones with like Mila Jovovich were not very good and whatnot because they didn't follow this, or they made her, you know, a whole different character and used the other characters as background characters. And it's like, unless this guy is like Chris or something and we don't know it, or something like that, I just don't see where people's complaints about the other movies would not hold up to this one or apply to this one as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I mean, then again, I did see the movie where they did try to bring in all the main people, and it was abysmal. It was positively abysmal. So they were like, it was really out of character, and it was like they grew up in a foster home like Claire and Chris, and oof. Like I didn't even know it could be that bad. But they kept the main characters in, so technically, according to most people, it should have been good. Because the main characters were the main focus instead of like a side thing. Usually when I come across stuff like that, I have to just tell myself, okay, it's not really the story they're utilizing, it's just basically the world or whatever, when they put other characters in and expect us to like root for them. It's like, you could put me in Resident Evil, it doesn't make it Resident Evil. And oh god, don't put me in Resident Evil. I think a zombie apocalypse is like one of my worst, because everybody's like, oh, a vampire would be worse or whatever, and I'm like, no, for me it's zombies. Like, with a vampire, I might like know I'm dead. And I guess with fast zombies and stuff, I also would know I'm dead. Or like the G-Virus motherfuckers that are just really fucking quick. I would know that I'm not making it out. But if it's like the really slow zombies, where it's almost like I have a chance, like, my brain would be like, we have to try, Toluca, and even though it wouldn't matter because, yeah. I'd be like, no, it doesn't matter, but my brain would be like, you're almost as fast as them. So I do wonder about like if you could like trick out a wheelchair enough to like survive a zombie apocalypse. Probably not, but I would like to at least see that. Like, there was a movie with Arnold at one point, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was the Running Man. So you had like all these people and doing this competition, and they had this one guy was like in a type of little vehicle, and he was, I think it was the Opera Man, but I could be wrong. And he had this weird vehicle with them. Oh, I like her. I like her. Okay, this is not the disarm one, but this is the songstress, and I really like her ability, so we can use her eventually. I'm going to not be able to make it out of this world alive, but I got her. That's nice. But yeah, I often wonder like what it would be like to have like a tricked out chair in a zombie apocalypse. Like, my battery is not very strong, so you'd have to like put in a much better motor to kind of get, you know, enough room between you and the zombies, I'm sure. And there'd have to be like a lot of metal plating and stuff around it so they couldn't like reach in and bite you and whatnot. But I think that you would eventually get overwhelmed even if you souped it up, just by dint of how many zombies there generally are and that kind of thing. Because you got to admit, you're not just seeing like one or two, you're seeing like a shit ton. So just being like landlocked or locked inside like a bunch of them, eventually they would just find their way in and scoop you out and eat ya. That's my theory anyway. Even with like plating and stuff, because you can only move people out of the way so much with a wheelchair before it like stops trying to go through the masses. So that's my guess. Okay, we're gonna go back and we're gonna feed the card into this. Oh shit. I hope that was on this floor. I might be wrong. Oh, Shulpers, I might be so screwed. That's okay, but I was hoping not. Okay, they're not. Oh shit, I was like, they're not gesticulating that wildly. Sure they are. Oh man, I'm gonna die. I was hoping for a different outcome. But I might get to the boss, I might not. But I'm definitely not beating that motherfucker. So I'll have to grind in the levels that I have left. But yeah, I was hoping for that buffet I found. That might have been on the other floor. Oh no, it's here. Okay, okay. Okay, we're gonna take it, we're gonna take it. Where is the... We're gonna do this, yep. It's better than nothing. Since we're not making it, it's better than nothing. We're gonna give it the old heave-ho, the old college try. If I do this, I don't get that, so... Okay, yeah, they're gonna hurt me already. Majorly. Ow. And this is me without... Oh, dear God. Okay. I don't know what to do about this. I'm not getting the most optimal choices. Okay, one... Okay, this will be free. So we can work on that, and then we can do that. Okay. Freeze these bastards. I should have injured them and then froze them, probably. I really don't know, Shulpers. I don't know the right thing to do. Okay. Okay, this is the big bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Okay. Oh, 10 hits. I am not going to be able to put that off for long. Let's hope this knocks you back. It does. It doesn't for long, unfortunately. I wish they would have gave me more gems. That would have been more conducive to this kind of help, but they didn't. They didn't. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. That didn't help push it back at all. Okay. Now we're gonna take this, and then Pugnala is gonna get that, and then... Oh, fuck me twice. She landlocked me, sort of. 12. I can survive 12? I would prefer not. Oh, man. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, Shelpers. Hold me. Oh, man. Okay, that's an 8. We can handle that. Oh my god, okay. Suck my ass, bird. I hope this is the end of this. I don't think we can handle another floor, Shelpers. It's probably not the end floor, is it? It is. Okay, we got through the dairy, the second part of the dairy. We only made it through 3 levels today. If I were faster at this, I would... Let me see if the dairy has another... If the dairy has another pain point. I think it does. Yes, it does. 6 on the milk factory. Or we get a big bridge, I think, is the next one. So there is a weenie bridge, and then there is a curd refinery in the dairy factory. Okay, that's where we're gonna start next time. I'm gonna grind some more because apparently I only got there by the skin of my tits. So I will leave you for the weekend. I hope you have a great weekend, a good upcoming week. I might stream once, I might stream twice, but either way, hopefully by next weekend I'm going to be able to get some of the video game coverage from the summer out before it turns into fall. So thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye!